going to take a look at a new guitar amplifier that I just bought. This one is called the Milkman Amp 1 Watt Plus model. It's not actually 1 watt. I think it's 15 watts, but it varies between 0.5 watts and 10 watts depending on how much you want the power settings to be. So yeah, this is my new guitar amp. I already have the old one here, the Swart Atomic Junior, which is also a really good amp. Both of these are boutique amplifiers. Both of these are hand wired. This one retails between $1,600, $1,700 brand new, depending on what kind of speaker you want. This one retails around, I got this one for about $1,200. But both of them are handmade amps, very nice boutique amps right here. Both are also Class A tube amps, which I'll show you the back later on. The differences between this one, why did I get a new guitar amp, is, well, this guitar amp is a lot bigger. It's a 12-inch speaker. The Swart Atomic Junior has an 8-inch speaker on it. This has two instrument inputs, a high input and low input, depending on what type of your guitar you're using. They have different impedances. You have volume, treble, and bass controls here. That's standard. Then you got an attenuator here, a built-in attenuator. You can vary your wattage between 0.5 watts and 10 watts, I believe, depending on how much power you want to output. So if you're playing in an apartment setting like I am, you probably don't want to play at the full wattage. It's assembled in San Francisco, California. This is really nice because I live in San Francisco and I want to support one of my local the local guys here, right? It's better than supporting something overseas, right? America first, remember? We got to support our local Americans. So yeah, made in San Francisco. This one is made in Wilmington, North Carolina. Of course, these are both built by one or two guys, I believe. So very, very small man operations, which is why it costs so much money. So a lot of people don't like boutique amplifiers because it costs so much money. Well, the reason is because, one thing, you're supporting the local makers here. They all use top shelf components, American made components, and they're built in America. So that's what you're paying for. You're paying for the American labor costs. I also want to review the Hermida Reverb. This is a guitar pedal here. A reverb pedal has a standard decay, reflection, tone, and mix controls here. Made by Love Pedal. This is the 4th iteration, I believe. They've had a few iterations of this pedal already. Hermida Audio USA. This is another boutique kind of company right here. But yeah, because the Milkman amp does not have built-in reverb, that's why I got this pedal. Now the next step up in this model is the 1 Watt Plus model, which is the lowest price model that they're selling right now, the smallest one. The next step up is the 5 watt half pint model, which does have the built-in reverb, but it's a little bit heavier, so that's why I didn't opt for that one. This one weighs about 25 pounds with the Alnico Blue speaker, 21 pounds with the ceramic speaker. The Swart Atomic Junior is really light, has a built-in reverb, and weighs only 14 pounds, which is really amazing, and one of the reasons I'm still keeping this one. So yeah, this is a Milkman Amp 1 Watt Plus, Swart Atomic Junior, both really great amps. This one is lighter, has built-in reverb, no attenuator. This one's the attenuator, bigger speaker, of course, no built-in reverb, but it has more headroom due to the higher wattage and everything. So yeah, they're both using, they're both Class A amps, both using roughly the same tubes, except for the rectifier tube, which I'll go over. So yeah, let's take a look at this reverb a little bit later. Let's look at the back of these amps for now, and I'll show you guys what's going on at the back. Okay, I'm not plugged in right now. Let's do that. Let's turn it around. As you can see, tubes are exposed here. This one is a little bit heavier, but it's still not that heavy. If you want to look at most guitar amplifiers or tube guitar amplifiers, they're quite heavy. This one is still on the lighter side at 25 pounds. Okay, so they're both Class A tube amps. As you can see, this one has the tubes all exposed. And this one really only has one power tube right here. It has a 12AX7 preamp tube. This one has a 12AX7 preamp tube. This one has a 6V6 power output tube. This one has two 6V6 power output tubes. Now, you might say that, oh wow, it has two power tubes, so how can it be Class A? Well, apparently Milkman Sound, which is based in San Francisco, they made a special transformer with Jupiter to let them use these two power tubes in parallel, which means that this really is a Class A tube amp. Because in order to be Class A, both your power tubes have to be working all the time, right? So if they're shifting and then they're usually in series or whatever, that's actually a Class AB. But because these two, this has a special transformer apparently, these two are working in parallel, so it really is a true Class A tube amp with two power tubes, two power output tubes. This one only has one, of course, so by default it's Class A. The rectifier tubes are different. This is a GC34, this is a GC34 rectifier tube. This one uses a 5Y3 rectifier tube. Now the difference is that the 5Y3 tends to sag a little bit more than the GC34, but it's a very minor difference. Both of them are going to sag more than solid state rectifiers, so they're going to give you a little bit more compression. Some people, will say, well, there's not much difference between solid state rectifiers and tube rectifiers. Well, there's not that much difference. It's not like a difference you can really tell that much, but there is definitely more sag in general with tube rectifiers, especially with the 5Y3. This one also has an additional 12 WD7 tube, I believe, which is for the reverb. So I'm really impressed that Swart managed to fit a full-size reverb into this small little amp, and Milkman could not fit a reverb into this bigger amp here. But anyways, that's why I had to get the reverb pedal. That's also why this is one of the coolest amps. It's really small, has a built-in spring reverb. This one's input, volume right here, tone, space, which is the reverb control right here, and the power switch right here. This one I've already shown you guys the controls up front, but this has an on switch on the back here. The power off standby, which this one doesn't have a standby. And yeah, this is an 8-inch speaker, 12-inch speaker here. This is using by default an 8-inch Weber ceramic speaker. This one also usually comes with a Jupiter ceramic speaker, but I upgraded it $100 more to a Celestion Alnico Blue. So this is about $1,700 with the Celestion Alnico Blue speaker on it. This one is about $1,200. But yeah, definitely the Celestion Alnico Blue will make it a little bit louder. Well, actually, quite a bit louder. Actually, the speaker differences between the Alnico, especially the Alnico Blue and the ceramic, actually quite big in my opinion. So that's why another reason why I got this amp is because this one comes with the Alnico speaker in it, and I do like the sound of Alnico. It's brighter, it's clearer, and it's louder. And the fact that these tubes are exposed, that's another problem, because if I'm traveling with this amp, I have to be careful of these exposed tubes right here, right? These tubes, because they're exposed, can be damaged very easily. These tubes are covered, so basically I can just check this one in to the airport, and I don't really have to worry too much about it. It's already covered right here. These ones are not, so I'm a little bit worried. It's another reason why I got this one. All right, let's hear about the sound differences now. I'm gonna play a Fender Stratocaster through both of these. They're gonna sound different. This one obviously has more headroom, being a larger amp and with a larger speaker. But yeah, I'll show you guys both volume, tone at 5, space at 3 for this one. This one does not have onboard reverb, which is why I have to use a reverb pedal. Here. Alright. Alright. Reverb pedal, I'm gonna have the decay, reflection, tone set to about 10 o'clock on here, and the mix set to 10 o'clock. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, let's fire these guys up. Put this one on standby, and this is on. Alright. Okay, so first I'm going to show you guys the tone in the Swart first. speakers, and really nice tone out of both of them. But you can see that this one will break up much easier if I use overdrive pedals on it, which you can hear on a lot of my older videos, because this one I've owned since 2012. I've had this one for about 5 years, so you can hear them on all my music guitar videos. When if I put overdrive pedals, they'll break up pretty easily. This one I just got, so I'll show you this one a little bit more. You can see really nice clean sound. If I turn up the space here, this one, the reverb, if it goes up to like, turn up to about 6. Pretty good spring reverb on this one. I'm really impressed based on how small it is. If I set the reverb to full, you can see just how much spring reverb it has. Pure tube spring reverb there, tube powered spring reverb. So very nice clean tone out of this spring reverb. I can also put the volume up to drive it a little bit, but of course no attenuator, so I can't do full volume. Yep, to hear it with the pedals and stuff, you had to look at my other videos. I use a lot of pedals in my older guitar videos. So yeah, that's the Swart Atomic Jr. I really like this tube amp still. I'll keep this one just because of how small and light it is, and having a full tube driven spring reverb is really impressive. Now, on to the main star of the show. We're going to get to the Milkman amp, my new amp, and show you guys how this one compares. Alright, let's put this one in, and right, we can use the high input jack since I'm using a Stratocaster. If you're using humbuckers, you might want to use the low input jack. Alright. Okay, there we go. So this one, let's put it on. There we go. By the way, I don't have the reverb turned on yet. This is just the natural sound. So you can adjust the attenuator. This is at half right now. You can put as low as 0.5 watts. And then you can put on all your distortion, overdrive, fuzz pedals here, and it won't wake up the neighbors. But you'll keep the same amount of drive, which is nice. You can see, yep, that's 0.5 watts. I can drive it all the way to 10 watts here, which is essentially full volume for this amplifier. This one, since that's an attenuator, I can actually drive it to full. So let's put the volume up to full here. actually sounded about the same loudness as the Swart amp. The reason is because the Swart amp is 5 watts and this is 10 watts, so it's exactly half that of the Swart amp when attenuated. So that's why it sounds about the same loudness. Anyways, now I'll show off the reverb pedal on this. Have everything set to about 10 o'clock here. Turn it on. Well, off it's like this. Okay, on. Turn on. Okay. Turn on like this. Alright. There, you hear a little bit of splash there. This reverb is really nice. I was looking at several reverb pedals. I was looking at the Catalan Brad Topanga, the Robert Keeley hook reverb, several string reverb like this, and also delays as well. But I like this one. The Hermida reverb is quite good. Of course, there's also the other ones like the Electro Harmonics Holy Grail. It's another one. There's a TC Electronic Hall of Fame reverb. But yeah, I like this reverb. It's quite nice. And if I put everything a little bit higher, the decay, reflection, tone, and mix a little bit higher, what happens here? A little bit more of everything, right? Almost like a delay from the mix up to full. This is just spring reverb, by the way. It doesn't try to do plate reverb or hall reverb or room reverb. It's just pure spring reverb, which is all that I want because this one does not come with spring reverb. Nice, a lot of good reverb here, but I tend to just put it down a little bit so we don't get it too much in the way of playing. There. This is how I usually set the reverb. So anyways, that's a Hermida reverb. Works pretty well for me. Very nice for me. I think this is version 4 of the Hermida reverb, and Alfonso Hermida has made several versions. Love Pedal, I believe, sells this one, so another boutique pedal maker there. Alright, so let's get on with a demo of some of the songs we can play with it. Let's try doing a demo with some songs, playing some songs through this amp, show you guys how it does. Yeah, so let's start out with the John Mayer song. John Mayer actually does endorse this amp. I think he posted on his Instagram. Now, we don't actually know if he uses this amp or not. That is the pedal steel model, I think, is the one that he endorsed. But certainly he does like Milkman amps, and he does endorse them. But I'm not sure if he actually tours with them or records with them or something. Probably not. I think he still uses his Dumble and maybe his 2-Rock. or his new PRS signature amp. But anyways, it's nice to know that John Mayer does like this amp. Okay, let's start with the song. Now I'm just gonna play clean. If you guys want to see some how this amp handles distortion, and it handles distortion and overdrive very well because it has a lot of headroom. It's a very, very good clean amp. Now think about like a Fender Deluxe Reverb or a Fender Twin Reverb. It has a lot of clean headroom to it, so it takes pedals very, very well. I think if you want to see how well it handles pedals, I did demonstrate the Keeley Oxblood versus the Maxon TB09 versus the Wampler Euphoria on another one of my videos, so you guys can check that one out because that one is all recorded using the Milkman amp. So yeah, let's start with the John Mayer song. No singing this one. Volume up to full on my Strat. Gravity. Jazz tune I want to do. I've been working on this nice George Benson one for the past few days, and I think it's a nice jam tune, so let's try it out. All right. Anyways, guys, that's a really nice little demonstration of the Milkman 1 Watt Plus model. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments below. And yeah, like this video, subscribe if you like these kind of videos, if you like my guitar videos and stuff. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.